very good afternoon to you and welcome to today's edition of Joy Business Masterclass. Masterclass is powered by Joy Business and is brought to us by Goyle. Goyle, good energy, Goyle, Yenara, Yedia. Masterclass comes your way every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. and runs all the way through to 2:15 p.m. here on your superstation Joy 99.7. My name, as always, is Yaw Barnafo, and I'm glad to be your host for today's edition of Masterclass. We've started a conversation in the last couple of weeks on psychological safety at the workplace. Uncle James Addison, CEO of Addison International, has been here with us sharing some wonderful thoughts with us. And last week in the conversation, here are a few things that sort of stayed with me. I'm just going to rush through them quickly so that we give him the rest of the time to share all the thoughts that he has for us today. Last week, we talked about the role of the manager in ensuring that there's psychological safety at the workplace. And here are a few tidbits from that conversation. We talked about the fact that a manager must make psychological safety an explicit priority. If you're a manager, you're a leader in any team that's working, in order to create psychological safety at work, make sure that psychological safety is a priority for you. It's not just bottom line. A manager must also set the stage so that people can speak up. Let people speak and ask questions. Today, a lot of people are questioning the status quo, and it creates a lot of discomfort for managers. We're saying that in order to create psychological safety at work, allow people to speak. We're not saying that people should be offensive. We're not saying that they should be wrong about the way they do things, but we're saying that people should be allowed to speak up. We also talked about the fact that managers should establish norms for how failure is handled, so that failure becomes a propulsion for future success and not something that condemns and kills motivation completely. And then we talked about the fact that a manager must create space for new ideas, even the wild ones. Yes, even the ones that take you to the edge and you're thinking, if it were your company, would you use my money to experiment? Allow them to share those ideas, and as time goes on, you may find that some of those ideas become useful. And one of the last things that stayed with me in the conversation last week was place premium on feedback as a manager. Today we continue that same conversation, but today we're looking at the role of teammates in fostering psychological safety at work. I just went online briefly before we started. We came on the show today, Uncle James, and I just thought, what are people saying about psychological safety at work? And this one is from, it says unknown. It says, a lack of psychological safety is a recipe for disaster. It breeds fear, risk aversion, group think, and low engagement. And ultimately, it leads to low performance and terrible results. Wow. This one is from Author Unknown. Today we'll talk about the role of teammates in creating psychological safety at work. I know you have a lot to share with us, so talk to us, Uncle James.
Thank you, Yaw. And I think once again, let me use this opportunity to thank Goyle for such a great initiative.
Yes.
I think it's one of the best in the whole of the continent, and people listening to us all over the globe, UK, Canada. Let me give a shout out to one of my Reverend ministers, Reverend S.K. Ampofo, Assistant Head Master, Wesley Grammar. He's been listening to us all the time. And then a shout out to Ehunabo Bimpra Ajinsem.
Wow.
The paramount chief of Asinkushia. He's giving Ghana the neatest city.
Yeah, I heard it's the cleanest,
city in Ghana.
Yes.
And I will urge everybody, in one of my books, I said every child in Ghana must be given the opportunity to visit Asinkushia. So if they are listening to me at Asinkushia, people let Nana know that.
Yes. A shout out to all the inhabitants of Asinkushia this afternoon from Masterclass.
Yes, they've done very well.
Brilliant.
Good. Now, this topic is so important.
Yes.
You know, everything begins from leadership. And if leadership should get it right, all other things being equal, right? And people normally say the fish, and when the fish is going to get spoiled, it starts from the head.
Yes,
as soon as it gets spoiled at that end, the whole thing is off. So creating a psychological safety with regard to the unknown author, very serious. I mean, the person It's unknown, but this statement must be known.
Has
become known because he summarized the whole idea. He summarized the whole idea, and it talks about the fact that it brings about risk aversion. That nobody wants to risk anything.
Yeah.
You get to my point. And without taking some minimum risk,
nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens at all. So it's good that today we look at the team members.
Yeah.
Most of the time we think that, when we are put in the team, individuals, we believe everybody can do it. Therefore, let's continue to do what we have to do. But there must be that harmony.
Yep.
And one of the ways to create harmony for people that are coming in first, people should know that this topic I'm talking about is new people into the organization. Very, very important. When people come in new, these things must be enjoyed by them. Are you getting my point?
True.
And those that are there might have also been taken through some of these steps. It's very, very important. So team members also has a role to play to make sure that the environment is psychologically safe. That means voice is allowed at any point in time. So today I'm going to look at 10 basic issues or characteristics that when we or practices that when team members, team players, a group, department, right? When department or team members practice this, at the end of the day, we'll be able to create psychological safety, and then the bottom line will be very good for all of us. Remember, health is also important. It's also part of this. When the place is psychologically safe, the health of the people, you get my point. When you came in, we've been chatting, I've been laughing, and all of a sudden I feel very energetic. But people don't know that when you are very quiet and you don't laugh, there's no opportunity for you to smile or joke around, your immune system is affected. And sick leaves comes in, including the fake ones. So it's better we enhance some of these things. You get
I mean, like you say, it's one of those conversations that we can spend the whole year talking about it. Because even apart from what the people do, also the environment in which you work. You know, I found out when we were treating mental health earlier in the year, I think it was last year, as simple things like the amount of illumination in the space you work, the amount of ventilation, the color on the walls affects your mood, affects your psyche, and can cause depression. I know it's taking it, stretching it very far, but I suppose that as time goes on, we'll be able to understand
it's very, very important.
how all of these things come together.
When you go to proper Montessori, look at the colors there. Are you getting one color does not help even in academic learning? Not at all. So the white paper we'll be using all the time is not the best. So in the Montessori, you see that many colors, so the mind is engaged at any point in time. Here, you also have a very colorful thing. So you don't sit here and just feel bored. You look at this one, wow, you look at this. So you do that, the child's brain kicks into action and it works very fast. So, of course, environment play a critical role in whatever. That's why the manager's office is, when you enter there, you see.
I'm sure if time allows us, we may go into some of those areas. But we're also streaming live on Facebook for those of us who want to watch. So, Uncle James,
let me kick into action now. One of the very first things that will help, or when team members practice, it will create a psychological safety among the team. And individuals in the team will enjoy is open communication. Open communication. It's very, very important. There are people that normally don't communicate in a team. And when somebody is very new in a team and he sees that people don't communicate, for instance, we know we are going to Kumasi. Some will go by air, maybe the day before or two. Others will come by maybe bus or a car. Now, we all know that we will be there on Friday to start a program, but it wouldn't be that bad if somebody gets to maybe circle, they are taking off, and they call somebody, say, oh, Charlie, we're about to take off. It's very, very important. And you know the reason. Now, when people are in the team, somebody may think that, oh, so nobody even cares about me. Imagine there was something on the road and somebody crossed. Hey, anything could have happened, but nobody have called to find out where have you gotten to. So these small things, they are all part of communication. True. You may think, oh, we have communicated, the emails have gone, but from traveling from Accra to Kumasi, somebody's psychological state could be disturbed.
Right.
And it will take somebody who is very good in their team to have found out where they have even reached. Are you getting my point? Somebody can even call you and say, oh, are you getting ready to set off? Oh, let's pray. Let's put our hands into the hands of the living God. These small things are all part of communication.
Yeah.
So communication must be very honest with your peers. Are you getting my point? People we don't need to hide too many things from the group or the team that we are in. It's very, very important that we share honestly. We must also ask powerful and open-ended questions. It is not always that we may be communicating. Sometimes we pose some questions, right? And when we express our thoughts, ideas, and concerns openly, this helps create an environment where everybody feels comfortable sharing their perspective without fear of judgment. It's very, very important when communication is very honest. You see, when you are honestly speaking, good people can pick it up. It's very, very important that we have to be very honest with our people in a team. The next thing that I want us to talk about is the fact that we should embrace expertise. When people come and they know, we don't have to let them feel bad for knowing. You get my point? Yeah, it's taking some few years for them to do that.
When you go to Rome.
Yeah, you do what Romans do. So people will come in a team. People will come with varied expertise. Don't let them feel bad. The guy is very good. And I remember last week we talked about the fact that some people you can do the PowerPoint for them. Just give them 5 minutes. When they flip through the presentation they will do, you would think that maybe they have prepared the whole slide for almost a month. Yeah. So when a team does not embrace individual expertise, it makes people feel bad. And when they feel bad, the performance will not be there. This is very clear. Jesus said a prophet is not without an honor except in his own background. Yeah. It's very, very important. So when people have a particular expertise in their team, they need to be welcomed. They need to be given the opportunity to express them. You get to my point? So encourage and express gratitude, which reinforces Memphis' sense of what? So now when people perform well in a team, thank you very much. You've done well. Oh, wow. You are the backbone of our team. We cherish you so much. Some of these words, it keeps them on their toes. But when it is not embraced, that means the team itself is not creating the environment for people to flourish. It's very, very important. It's called a team because it has different expertise on board. Yeah. If not, one person may not have done anything. One person does not become a team. Sure. Are you getting my hand? Sure. Somebody is good in statistics, somebody is good in this, good. So when they bring you people together, product development and all those kind of things, these areas of expertise must be embraced by individuals. It's very, very important. It's not that I'm an accountant, so I only speak to accountants and those kind of things. No.
Somebody said once that the acronym TEAM stands for Together, Everyone Achieves More.
Yeah.
So you're right.
And it's perfectly way of creating that. We also have to be active listeners. Everybody wants to speak, but who is listening? It's very, very important. A team must be able to listen. Make sure that you give people the opportunity to speak their minds. There's no need to shudder. There's no need to jump in. Allow them space. It's very, very important. And it's one of the areas we're going to look at next week. Ability to listen, right? In our
a question
settings.
is popping up now. You notice I'm smiling at this point. I'll ask it later, though. But please go on.
So we need to be actively listening. And when people are speaking and we are listening, the body languages are very, very important. You getting my point? Your demeanor tells me that you are not listening to me. That will not be very encouraging. So by showing genuine interest and empathy towards other people's point of view, you demonstrate respect, and this will promote trust among the team. It's very, very important that we do some of these things. The next thing is that we must show respect and empathy. Yeah, team members must show respect and empathy towards each other. Something might have happened. The person did not deliver, but if we have time and space, we may be able to listen to the person, and then we can help the person out. So we need to be very empathetic in the team. We are not saying don't allow everybody to lazy around, but there could be a genuine reason why something was not done, either properly or not on time. We should give them the opportunity and let them know that we have listened to them. We appreciate their views, but this is the best way to go now. It is one of the best things to do for a team. Team members can support each other through difficult situations and celebrate each other's success. This will foster a sense of belonging in the team. We must celebrate success. Maybe all of you are in a team and they pick one to go and represent the company. When it comes and the person have done well, I mean, looking at Joy, it is not every department that will pick an award in a year. You get my point. So if sports pick, why won't Sarah call sports or go to sports and celebrate with them? Are you getting my point? It's a teamwork. Yeah. So it's very, very important that in terms of difficulties too, when they have a challenge, we need to be there to support them.
Rally around.
Yes, it's very, very important. That. Now we must also give constructive feedback. Remember, we said the manager should place premium on feedback, but the team members, the colleagues, should also make sure that they give constructive feedback. It shouldn't be criticism, and that is the end. You getting my point? When you see something that is not going on well, when you tell the person, you might be able to give a bit of advice or a solution. Because when we only prepare the mind for criticism, we've done nothing. Everybody knows that Ghana, when it rains, it chokes because we throw things into the district. But when we say it and jam the government and jam the ministers of sanitation, then we go to bed. So the problem is still there. You get my point? But who is coming out with probably one or two ideas that could easily help us to prevent that particular thing happening? So constructive criticism is a hallmark for a very good and successful team. Any team that is doing very well has enjoyed constructive criticism, because when you say it, you think and you add what you may think it will help. It's very, very important, because sometimes people get to a point they've landed. That is why change in leadership sometimes is good, especially when you have been MD for some years and you go. It's not a bad thing. You may be the best, but if you don't go, what about the MD that is also worse? You get to my point, and I believe that this is the reason why even God allows us to exit sometimes, so that other people can also come to the scene. Right? So team members should offer feedback to their peers in a respectful and constructive way. It's very, very important.
I want you to also just rehash that point for me again about giving constructive feedback.
Good.
I want you to look at the perspective that says give it in the way you would like to receive it.
Yes.
Because at one point or the other, you are either receiving or giving that feedback. Now, somehow, because one of the basic human instincts is selfishness and self-preservation, when I'm talking to you, I talk as if you are outside of me.
Yeah.
Which is true, literally. Yeah. But then I talk
naturally.
To you. Yeah. I forget that the way I'm talking to you is probably the way I would not like to be talked to.
Yeah.
So how do we, with that understanding, re-engineer the process of constructive feedback?
You see, when we talk about the constructive feedback, as you already said, you want something to be achieved. Are you getting my point? If something doesn't go right, we'll get the whole thing wrong. You get my point? So having that in mind, then the approach will be very different. I don't know whether you are getting me, but you see, at the end of the day, we want the audience. Are you getting back? We want people to participate. But the way you are speaking to me now, it may even end up spoiling the whole thing. So having
exactly what I'm trying to achieve.
Good. So having that in mind, then it means your way of presenting it is rather going to enhance that particular action that need to be taken for the second time.
Okay. Indulge me. Let's do this in 30 seconds.
Good.
Let's role play it. So let's say a report is supposed to go to a regulator.
Good.
And somebody was supposed to do some work.
Good.
And they should have asked for help. They didn't.
Good.
Now they couldn't do a part of it, and the report is late,
Good.
and it's going to result in sanctions.
Good.
Let's role play how you would talk to that person.
So I have in mind that late may be better than none. Are you getting my point? If we don't, we can afford not to submit it for a week. But if it's 1 month or 2 months, probably the sanctions will be more. You getting my point? So I come close to the person and say, "Oh, hi, it seems you couldn't deliver on time. What is it? Something like that." So I suspect something might have happened. Is there anything that we can do to support? Are you getting my point? Because sometimes when you push too much, maybe the person even become very anxious if it's not that experience. Fear comes in, anxiety comes in, and the whole thing is thrown off again. So this is where leaders have to be very, very optimistic and make sure that they end the trust of the people. So the approach to that is to calm the situation down, although the situation is not an easy situation. But when you escalate it, or I don't know how to, when you put too much fire into it, what will be the end result? We stand here, we talk, I should have done that, we spend almost 30 minutes shouting. But if I've used 5 minutes to say that I'm sure something might have happened. If there anything that we can do, say this is what happened. Please, okay, let's sit down. Call Kojo for me. Pa. The 30 minutes that we waste to shout on people and give them 30 reasons why they know all these things, but it has happened already. You getting my point? And so one of the ways to do that is what I call a validation, a simple validation. Yes, you see, men boom, come for. As soon as you judge the person, you does not give any opportunity.
You lose them.
Yeah, you lose them. You lose the beauty of the next line of action. So I'm sure something, because you see, I was talking to somebody. I'm going to do something with the sports, and I was talking to somebody and I said, you know something, the sports guy who did not get a medal is not that happy. It's more unhappy than me, if there's an English word like that. Are you getting my point? Yaw won this program more than me. He won the audience more than me. Sarah won the success of this program more than me. So if something happened, I shouldn't, and something happened from the part of Sarah or Yaw, I don't have to take a gun and go and shoot them. No. Although it might have cost me, yes, they would have cost themselves more than what is it. So if you don't put it that way, that young guy want promotion. That one young guy want a better review, a performance. So it's costing him more than that. So where it has gotten to, we need to calm things down so that we get the full support. We achieve it at the end of it. Validation is very, very important. So you go in and say, oh, Kwame, I'm sure something might have happened. Please, what really? What is it? What is it? Please, let's sit down and have a solution to it. You can't do that here. What do you take us for? Do you know what is going to cause us at the end of the regulator? The regulator is already he has gotten you already. So don't worsen the situation.
I'm talking and you are talking.
Yes.
Go home.
Yes. So I remember those times in St. Augustine. Shout out to them. There was this man who teaches us business management. So you have gone for tomatoes to be given to somebody in Accra from Tamale. You've gotten to Kumasi. Half of the tomatoes have gotten rotten. Because your destination is Accra, you want to come. Before you get to Sanwom, all the tomatoes have gotten, rotten. So sell the half there. So you minimize costs. So in order to minimize costs, that person's emotions must be triggered very well so that we don't escalate issues. It's very, very important.
Thank you for clarifying that point for me.
Good. So the next thing I want us to look at is conflict resolution. In a team, there's no way that there wouldn't be conflict. When you see a team that is performing, it does not mean they don't have conflict coming up, but they have a better way of resolving conflict. Remember, we said the managers should define a way of making sure that people that don't feel that good with certain things have a nice way of grievance resolution and all those kind of. In the same way, the team members should open up for conflict resolution. When two heads are fighting, there must be, or when two subordinates are not agreeing on particular things, there must be a proper way. There must always be a solution. You getting my point? If the team members can contribute positively towards that environment by addressing conflict openly and collaboratively, it's very, very important. Yeah, conflict must resolve openly. The issue is with Yaw. Most of the time, when Yaw is not even aware that something is going to happening or something like that, when you take them by surprise, they also take you by surprise. So
they get defensive.
Yes, you know something. Yesterday, I think there's something that we did not do. Let's meet in the office first thing in the morning and let's see how we can resolve it. The conflict is being resolved openly. So when Yaw is sleeping, he's even thinking of a way and solutions around it. You don't wait until they come. Everybody get down to the office. Let's do this. People don't even know what has really happened. And the conflict is what popped up. So there must be conflict all the time for even the team to really work. But then if there is a conflict, there must be proper way to solve it. And one of the ways to do that is to be very open with about people that are involved and very honest.
And also, just to add that we shouldn't be afraid of conflict. Our orientation and all of our training has been to avoid conflict. But lately we're getting to find out that things are changing. Conflict actually becomes necessary and important for development and for change. So I know some people who can't say no when they are not upset with you. So if they have to say no to you, then they have to be angry with you. But we're learning.
It's a way of expressing.
As time goes on, conflict will come, but it's how you handle it, and it determines how you benefit from it. Really,
it's very, very important. We should also, team members might be supporting growth and learning. It's a very good song. There are some leaders, when you work under them, or there are some team members and colleagues, they will never encourage anybody to learn. But when you fail to learn, you fail to grow. Yes. And the team will suffer. Are you getting my point? Imagine a team, 2 or 3 of them have gone, maybe probably extra studies or something. When they come, it's still a benefit to the team. Yeah. So when the opportunity comes, this comes under training. It's not only long-term studies that we're talking about, taking leave for 5 years or 4. No, simple trainings. So a year is coming, and the team must be able to know that, yeah, we'll need this particular team. James will need this particular training. Let's look at Bank of, the banking college or whatever. What trainings are available? Yeah. Are you getting my point? Let's get to probably Addison International. Let's see the trainings that are available. Yeah. So members should be able to even see a training and raise the alarm or alert some of them. I think you need this kind of training. Check their brochure and see. Because when they do, they have the knowledge and they come, it's come back to help the team. So we shouldn't sabotage each other in a team when people want to really want to learn. So we must also ask freely for help. And when people ask for help freely, we must also freely give. Here we must go by the biblical way. Freely you receive, freely you must give. Right? So somebody may be on a task as a team member. Are you getting my point? If he gets to a point that he's not able to do it and he needs assistance, people experienced in the team already should be able to help such people. It's very, very important. Yeah. We must be seen to be supporting each other. Team members can share their knowledge, offer mentorship, and provide opportunities for growth. And by this, they will create culture that values learning and improvement. Any team that is not learning is not going that far. It's very, very important. One of the things that, or the practice that can also help, is celebrating diversity and inclusion. It's very, very important. People are coming from different backgrounds. Yeah. Yes. We need to appreciate each other. If there's a Muslim there, you can easily learn some of the languages. There was one training I started to sing in the Muslim district because it was part of North. And they were very happy. I think that was the best part for the training for them. Are you getting my point? Bismillah, Muhammadur Rahim, Mesalillah, Muhammadur Rahim, Alhamdulillah, Rabbi Alamin. So these are some of the things.
And I'm sure that was a very brilliant point of connection.
That is
with your target audience.
You can't just go and stand before people. The 3 minutes of your presentation must get people to settle down. If not, you lose it. Yeah. It's very, very important. So in your mind, you must make sure that culturally, are you getting my point? So culturally, people feel proud for you to address them in that way. It's very,
and
very,
they feel
very
a sense
important.
of belonging as well.
That is it.
He represents part of. It's just like when you see somebody speak your language and they don't come from your area.
I've been on a program on Pen TV and somebody said, "I am in the bush. The Fanti you are speaking. Today if I don't even weed again, I am okay." In the Fanti language. I said, Addison, I can't Fanti man. Them where drew me. Yamin Shawata. You see,
it's the little things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's natural.
It's
natural. So when we destroy our local languages, we are creating distinctions among ourselves. We should embrace them, right? So in a diverse way, we should embrace some of these things. It's very, very important. I remember in abroad, and in abroad, they cherish some of these things. I remember in the warehouse, some of our food, momoni, kakone, I don't know, when you heat it in the environment, Charlie, it changes. But the white man will never squeeze the face. He said, James, wow, it smells good. But he just want you to feel good because you can't just come and belittle my kako that I'm enjoying.
Uncle James, hold on to that thought for me. I want our listeners to be a part of this conversation. Uncle James Addison talking to us about psychological safety at work. We want to take a quick message from our sponsors. When we come back, we get interactive.
Your favorite on-air business development program, Joy Business Masterclass, is in session, and you can interact with us on Facebook via the Joy 99.7 FM or Joy Business pages. If you tweet, the handle is at Joy 997 FM or at Joy Business GH. Don't forget to hashtag JB Masterclass. You can also call us on 0302 216541 or send your questions and contributions through to the WhatsApp number 0551 111997, and our facilitators will address your concerns. Attention everyone, class is in progress.
Welcome back. If you've just tuned in, this is Masterclass. We're interactive right now. The numbers to call 0302 216 541. That's 0302 216 541. You can also send us your comments on 055 1111 997. If you're driving, please do not text while you drive, because we definitely want you to arrive alive. But otherwise, pick up that phone, give us a call. 0302 216 541. Which team do you belong to at work? What are the dynamics that are taking place within the team? Do you feel psychologically safe at work? Does your manager create that environment? Do your teammates create that environment? Pick up that phone, share your thoughts. Let's all become better for it. Call us on 0302 216 541 or send us your comments on 055 1111997. Today's edition of Masterclass is brought to us by Goyle. Goyle, good energy. Goyle, Yenara, Yedia. If you have any motor vehicle of any kind, then Goyle has some great news for you. Goyle PLC, your CIMG Hall of Fame and 2022 Petroleum Company of the Year, has taken the lead again. Goyle has opened ultra-modern liquefied petroleum auto gas service stations across the nation. The modern auto gas service is safe, clean, and it offers affordable alternative fuel for your vehicle. So look out for the Goyle Auto Gas Station in the following areas: Bema Camp Goyle Service Station, Accra; Beshi Goyle Service Station, Accra; Pedu Junction Goyle Service Station, Cape Coast; Mpintin Goyle Service Station, Takoradi; Kentin Krono Goyle Service Station, Kumasi. Goyle, delivering the safest and affordable gas at your convenience. Goyle, good energy. Goyle, Yenara, Yedia. Phone lines remain open. Numbers to call 0302 216 541. That's 0302 216 541. Or you can send us your comments on 055 1111997. Uncle James, while we're waiting for the phone line to ring, maybe you can finish off on the diversity. He made me laugh so much, the example that you shared. Because I've also had some personal experiences. But like you say, it's about accepting people from different places. And understanding that people have come from different places. You know, when you're in an office of more than 2 people, 3, 4, 5 people, everybody came from somewhere. You haven't walked a mile in their shoes. You don't know what their story is. And there's a reason why they do things the way they do things. So we're not saying accept all of it, but have some tolerance, isn't it?
And understand it. It's very, very important. Right? So team members can actively promote inclusivity by respecting different background, perspective, experience, creating a workplace where everybody feels valued and respected. And let me quickly add this. You know, most of the time at the workplace, there's something I call the social contract. The social contract is made up of 4 things, right? Anytime that 2 or 3 or 4 people meet, a contract is signed. That contract does not need signatories. That contract does not need people to sit down and become witness, but naturally it's signed. I remember the first time probably that I was on show with you. I did not ask you that, from time to time when you don't hear from me, call me or chat me. We never sat down and agreed on that. But we do it to each other from time to time. So anytime that you meet people, these 4 things must be what? Must be in place. People want to be valued. People want to be respected. People want to be what? Accepted. And people want to be understood. It's very, very important. This simple contract does not need any witness or anybody to sit down and sign. So far as you are in a team, in the office, when you uphold this social simple contract, that inclusivity is what? Because no matter who am I, I'm a Muslim. At 12, I have to go and do my 1 or 2. My prayer. It needs to be accepted and needs to be understood. So you don't put a meeting around that time just to kick me out. It's not the best. You get to my point. So some of these small things is just let understand, because it's not detrimental to the work. Are you getting my point?
We can work around
it. We can work around it.
I've had the experience before working with a group of people from I'm going to be as vague as possible because I don't want people to know what I'm talking about. But from a group of people from a certain part of the world who have a culture of work that says that at a certain time of day they must go home and eat lunch and sleep for 2 hours before they come back to work. my training is different. My training is that once you get to work, you have a 1 hour lunch break,
Yeah.
and then you come back and you finish work.
Yeah.
So we're in a meeting, and the meeting is transcending midday. Before I realized what was happening, the people from that part of the world,
they are gone.
they were not in the meeting.
Yeah, they are gone.
They were like,
They are culturally insensitive.
but they didn't even call Mr. Barnafo.
No,
They said, Mr. Yao,
Yeah.
it's my lunch.
Yeah.
You can't do anything
No,
about
no,
it.
no.
They're gone.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about
That
it.
is
So,
it.
what I learned from that is you need to understand that now when you are planning for these things,
Yes.
and it involves people
Accommodate
from,
that, yeah.
you need to make provision
Same for that.
so that you don't run into.
Yeah. So
into
you either start early, and by the time you get to that time, they are off.
Yeah.
It's good. It's very, very
I
important.
think I've got some comments coming in on social media. I'll try and read them very soon. But just send us your comments on 055-11-11997. I'll pick up the phone and give us a call on 0302-216-541. This one is from Joseph. It says is it Nko Joseph? It says, it's my first time of listening to this very educative program, and I would love to thank the man for his introduction. Okay, I think he's referring to your song.
Okay.
For the example that you gave. Okay. All right. Thank you for reaching out to us. Phone lines are still open. Numbers to call 0302-216-541. Or send us your comments on 055-11-11997. So I think there's a final point here that you wanted to make after the diversity.
Good. Good. So creating a workplace where everybody feels valued and respected.
Yeah.
Now, let me add this. We also have to agree to share failures. Yes. In a team, there will always be a challenge somewhere, right? A challenge somewhere. And in emotional intelligence, we don't talk about problems and failures. We talk about challenges and opportunity. Why? Because when the valuable lesson is learned, we may not repeat it. We may be doing well. I'm sure you have remembered the example of the slap. Right? So when failure is really shared and shared well, when you say share failure and share it well, it means pick up the valuable lessons.
Yeah.
You don't keep it to yourself for other people to even run into the same challenge.
Yeah.
It's a teamwork. So if there's a challenge that have befell you or something like that, you need to share it. Here, you need to be very frank in expressing appreciation.
I saw another video this week about failure in a team, but I think this one was too personal, so it hit home. So it's a movie set, and they're shooting a movie. Now there's a scene where someone is supposed to slap someone, but they have said action, so camera is rolling, sound is rolling, and the slap was supposed to be real. So the person dishes out the slap, wham! Painful slap. Then the sound man says, "Sorry, I wasn't recording."
If it has been recorded, at least
the actor gets upset. It's a team effort. So I'm saying that sometimes mistakes of others can cut home very close to home. So I'm just mentioning it because I want you to share some practical examples of how we can deal with some of these things in the team.
So some of the failures come, and what we need to do is that we need to share. I mean, if this has happened, that means at any point in time, what the lesson is that when you're about to slap, make sure that the cameraman is also ready. You are not the only person. Right?
No, but
you have to slap for a record.
But the person slapping is not the one receiving it. So
yeah.
They can slap again.
But you see, if you have warned the cameraman and the cameraman is not ready, the slap would have gone. And you get to a point so if the cameraman has captured at least one slap will have been enough. Now there's going to be another one. So we don't know whether he will be able to take that one or not. So sharing a failure means you must make people aware of what might have led to that.
They must also be tolerant of each other.
That is it.
Which is the point I was trying to make. That you can react, but let's be tolerant of each other.
Yeah, the slap has come. I mean, it's too much, and it's not on record. It's not recorded. So the second one must come.
The sound man didn't capture.
So the tolerance come in, although it's a mistake, but the end result is what we need. Do we have to end the show or something like that? So it's very important that we have a way to handle some of these things. Then we must express our appreciation and disappointment in a very candid way. It's very, very important. Sometimes, as you said, this part of the world, when people are disappointed or frustrated, they find it difficult to say. So they burst out in anger or something like that. But when we have that ability, or a team is able to allow people to express, or people in a team able to express their frustration and that kind. So the other person that receive the slap, it's also good that he also what express the frustration, so that next time at least.
No, he started venting immediately.
You look at the impact.
Yeah, he started venting immediately because it was like the guy did it. He did it on purpose, you know.
Yeah. So it's good that we look at some of these things in a team, in order to ensure that at least
let me just
the
ask
whole
this.
team works very well.
This question very briefly. I've still got a few more minutes. Phone lines are still open. Numbers to call 0302216541. Let's hear your experiences and what's going on in your team. Do you feel psychologically safe? Do you feel that your teammates have created the atmosphere for you to feel safe, or your manager has done so as well? But I have a question here, though. It says we're talking about people speaking up their mind and not being stifled or gagged. And my question is, how does a manager allow people to speak their mind and yet maintain equilibrium of either information overload or sharing information that may not necessarily be
needed?
Not needed, but the consumers should not be hearing that information at that time, because they can't deal with it. You know, there's a way you manage information in a team. So how do you allow people to speak their mind without tipping the balance and maintaining equilibrium?
Good. You remember we talked about the learning stage and all those things. I mean, people at that point in time, people might have gone through this and learn well. So if you trip over, probably you need to be given a one-eye look. You get to my point, because we expect you to know better. You are not that new here. You get to hand. So the process of learning and making sure that some of these things, I mean, some places in the bank, confidentiality is very, very important. My wife works in the bank, and we don't talk of anything relating to their workplace. You get to my hand. So some of these things need to be properly managed, and education and learning is very, very key in this area. So at a point in time, you know what to say. Sometimes customers are there, you don't disgrace the company. There is a case that when I was training Star Assurance, I created some case for them, right? Somebody came in, a policy is done, but there is an error, a mistake. So he comes in, doesn't meet the same person. And then the next person gets shocked. No, you have destroyed the company. You need to calm down. So here you are giving an information that may not augur well for the company. So you see there is a mistake. Your body language and everything shouldn't portray that. Okay. Just sit down. I'm coming. Now, question, when you go... A question, when you get back there, you go, hey, come here. Why this? You shouldn't have done quickly. So you come and say, mommy, last week there was this that we should have. There's a new policy, a way to do this, and then settle this out. You don't disgrace the company right there. It's a form of communication. Your body language and all those things can give you up. So you will expect to speak appropriately and when it is needed. It's not that because you have to speak, you speak everything. No. There are some messages that are for managers to speak. There are some messages that are for it's like going to the ahimfie. So it's not everything that Ochami will speak. You get to so Nana, you can come in. Then you know that this place, no. It's not my territory, so it's very, very important. Okay,
I've got another one here that says, how do you give constructive feedback to a defensive teammate?
You see, sometimes people become very defensive because they don't know the benefits of what is coming to them. What you did is wrong, or it was wrong. So if you listen to people, you may do it right the next time. You get my point? So it's for your own interest. Still, education is very, very important. But sometimes we don't talk about some of these things in a team. We just say, feedback is good. But people must be properly educated on the benefits of the feedback. It's very, very important. And when anybody that practice this will not be that defensive. But in a defensive, if the person is very defensive, then probably you choose some appropriate timing could help. Are you getting my point? Because sometimes some of the feedback comes so instant that people feel that you just want to disgrace me or something like that. So you look at the environment and see that, this one, okay, I will not say it in the open office. I'll wait when he gets to his, his office, personal office. I will go there. I will wait for a day or two. All those things are fine. Sometimes too, you wait for some opportunity to crop up. I was pitching a training with some company. I have a guy there, very top. But the guy was not that forthcoming, So one day he called me and said, opportunity has come. something has happened at the workplace. Everybody is talking about emotional intelligence. So they came to us and said, then call this person, let's see. Case closed. Are you getting what I mean? Sometimes when the opportunity comes, the person himself will really appreciate whatever the feedback is going to be. So at that time, the defensive attitude and those things, you will see that it will not help me that much. So appropriate timing, the environment, the occasion, even the placing where you want to give the feedback, all of them can play a critical role in making sure that people that are very defensive will not be that defensive.
So there's a way you handle it with tact.
Yes.
Okay, so what's our takeout from today, and what should we look forward to in our conversation?
Good. Our takeout today is that people are brought into a team for a purpose. At the end of it, well, I like this quotation from I think Simon Sinek or something like that. Yeah, Simon Sinek. He said, a team is a group of people that trust each other. It's not necessarily a group of people that have come together. There are so many people that have come together, they have a vision. But the vision is not being attained. Why? They don't trust each other. When y'all say, I'm coming 8, and I don't trust y'all coming 8, there's no team. So one of the things that we can do for ourselves in a team is respect and what? Trust. Let's ensure that people are given the opportunity and we play our role in ensuring that the team works and works perfectly. Next week, we're going to look at our Ghanaian setting. I don't want anybody to miss next week. We talk about a psychological safety, but you see, we did not come from heaven and admitted into car bank. No. We're all born in Ghana.
In Ghana,
In my holy town, if you are listening to me. So our upbringing, our culture, our environment, does it promote in the end psychological safety when we get to the workplace? That is what we're going to do next week. It's not in Google. This one is coming from Mr. Addison and our culture and experiences.
It's original.
It's original. It's going to be very, very nice. How do you call it? Discussion for next week.
Thank you so much. Between now and next week, if anyone needs to reach you, where do they find Addison International?
Yes, my number is 055 945 9207. 055 945 9207. And the YouTube too is Emotional Intelligent TV, EITV, all in one word. Right? Emotional Intelligent TV, EITV. I've been in this show for a long time, but my followers, they are not doing well. So everybody listening to us should go and subscribe. I know some people, they recently changed from one identity to another, and they have more followers. We don't want to mention it. So they should go there and promote us.
Very, very Thank you so much. This has been Masterclass here on your superstation, Joy 99.7. God willing, next week we come your way with yet another exciting edition. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you same time next week.